Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph and today we're going to be taking a look at my Dawn Redwood Forest. Now, just take a look at the fantastic colours that this thing has actually turned now that the temperatures have dropped. We've got this lovely rustic gold colour. Now if I touch the leaves, they are starting to fall. They do just pop off everywhere, as you can see. Now is the time to work on this thing. And as you can see, it's put on plenty of growth from the last time we worked on this in the spring when we did a repot. So what I want to do today is actually want to take some of these taller ones, because they're all roughly the same sort of height. I want to bring them down and I want to actually give them a sense of which one is the main leader of the planting, and I want to scale them up and give them still that conical shape. It might be a planting of a forest, but we've still got to have that conical shape because we've still got some rules to follow in bonsai, and this being one of them. I've got 5 trees in here. Once we get you over on the spinny chairs, because I like to do that at the moment, we'll have a little spin round with it and I'll show you, because we've got three dominant trees just here, 2 smaller ones just at the back, but as I say, we need to start making them look like we have one predominantly dominant tree and then the other ones are less dominant. So we need to make that decision soon. Other thing we're going to be doing is just bringing them in, cutting back to some buds, just generally giving it a nice tidy up. Anyway, stick around and let's get working on this one. I'm going to try and continue to work facing the greenhouse today while the polytunnel give you a nice green background so you can see the colours better. So if I work against the fence, I think the colours are going to clash. Anyways, let's get you down low so you can have a look. Now this is the front, this is the designated front that I set up, and obviously I set 2 primary trees. Now if I take you up, you can just see where I did a cut previously on this one here, and it's healing quite nicely, but it's got a nice strong curve to it when we put that wire on and we made this the leader. And just making that leader, you can just see the amount of growth that this year these trees have put on. Absolutely loads. They don't half love water, so it's a good job as well. When we did repot, we made sure we got it in a nice deep pot, so you can see just how deep that pot is. It's got plenty of soil in there, keeps it nice and moist, and we've got lots of moss there as well, help keep that moisture in. So these love wet feet. Anything you can do to keep the wet feet, I recommend doing it. One of those, as I say, make sure you've got a deep pot. Anyways, back to the trees. Trees here, you've got 5 of them, so if I give you a nice little spin, you can see how the planting's starting to take shape. If you remember when we did the root work in the spring, the roots were all nicely attaching together, and I did spread them out a little bit more. This is how it's now looking. So I think it's looking quite fantastic. If I take you over to these 2 trees here, you can see that these ones have slowed right down. This one got some sort of parasite bug infection, because you can see the top of it actually died off. It's not doing very well. I do believe it is still alive, because I think I've got some buds still on there. Let's just double check. Well, I hope it's all alive anyway. I can't see any buds, which is probably not a good thing. This tree might have actually died off. So unfortunately, we're going to have to give that a scrape test and double check it. Is that a bud just there? Let's have a look. Just there. Have we got a bud? I think that's a bud. Whether it's a live bud is a different thing. It looks green, so hopefully. But all these lower branches, they're dead. They've died off. It didn't do very well. I'm not sure what happened to it. But it doesn't look like we've got too many buds either going on in the rest of the tree. We'll have to give it a little scrape just to make sure it's healthy. I don't want to be replacing it. It's not ideal. But I will show you accidents and all on this channel. If we have dead trees, we have dead trees. But as you can see, all the other ones have got loads of healthy buds on there, all over the trees. So this being the front, I think my decision today is, because I've got the two smaller trees just at the back, definitely this one that's healthy. If we have to replace that one, we have to replace it. If I do, I'll probably just move it around a little bit more just here and probably get a slightly thicker tree, but I'm hoping I don't have to. So going for the fact that I don't have to, let's go there. I'm going to be making me cut on this one and making this my primary leader. It's got the nice curve there, and I'm going to be cutting it higher up than I normally would want to, just because I'm going to continue the growth of this one, and I'm going to hopefully thicken it up more. Just let it shoot up, where all the rest of them I'm going to be cutting quite far back, and then next year when we do cut back, I'll cut that back a little bit further back than the others, because it should, the growth that I'm going to leave this year, which will extend more growth next year, will thicken that up quicker. So that's how it sits at the moment. Let's get you on the tripod, let's get in, let's start working on this. Before I start working on this one, I have done a little scrape test just here. I'm pretty sure this tree is dead. So let's find out. Dead. 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 Oh, no. It's dead. This tree's completely and utterly dead. Yep. As expected. Not much going for that. As they say over here, that's brown bread. So, I've got planting with 4 trees. I'm going to have to pull that out in the spring. I mean, I could leave it for another year, I suppose, and then redo the planting, because we only did roots last year. But the issue is, all the roots have now meshed together. I'll make a decision on that next spring. I'll see if I can get a nice tree in the meantime. But unfortunately, I've lost a tree, and now I'm down to 4. That's upsetting. But it is what it is. We lose trees, we move on. Okay, let's start working on these then. Straight away, you've probably noticed that I'm changed locations. I'm inside now because one of my neighbours decided it'd be a good idea to power wash his patio while I'm working. So I'm going to go straight into it. As you noticed, this one at the back we started with, I've cut right back. I think it's pretty much dead, but I do have a tiny little bit of green, so that's as far as I'm going to go on this one. I am going to start with the main tree, and what I would like to do is cut the main tree, and I am going to just cut it back to, I think, let me just have a quick look. I don't want to take too much off it. I do want to keep it tall, I want to keep the growth on it. So I'm just going to go in and, do you know what? I'm going to bring it to here. So we're trying to take that little bit off there. So that's all I've done, and I've just took this little top bit off. Doing so is leaving me up here. I've got 2 bar branches, as you can see if I spin it around. There you go. I've now got these 2 bar branches. Gonna come in, take this one out completely. Sleeve it into the smaller one. Although this smaller one is going to be removed right back. I don't want bar branch. I also don't want this taken off as leader, so I'm going to take it back. I do have the small buds. One of them will take off as a leader, I've got buds all the way back here. See, so I'm going to come up, leave a little bit just for dye back, just in case. I've got the 2 buds here to grow back. Now I make the decisions here. I'm going to come in, take this inward branch out, leave this side one, and again cut back to the buds. Continuing the theme, removing the bar branches, looking for buds. Now the nearest buds I can see on this branch, just here, branch here, you can now see I've got buds all the way along it. I've got one here. I'm going to take it to this one. Oh, it's probably a bit far out. I've got a bud right at the base of this one. Continue doing this all the way down the tree. Take out. Growing inwards here. Let's take that one off. Got a bud here growing. Now my lower branches, they are pretty thick, which is nice. I want to keep those, so let me grow you down a little again so you can see them. All these thick branches. These are all nice and thick. I'm going to continue working with these. The only thing I'm going to do is just bring them right back. Just going to pull it right back here. Same on that one. I don't want to just keep them all. Just there. All these little ones here are just going to fall off. Just like that. So that's the first tree, the major tree done. It's nice and tall. If I zoom you out, you can see it nicely. Nice stature. It is a tall tree, but I want to keep all the growth in this one. I want to make it look imposing. Now the one behind it, I'm going to work straight on that one now. I'm just going to turn it around a little bit so you can see properly. So if I just keep it there, you'll see it. We'll start with the lower branches. Just going to come back. Bring these ones just here. This one's going to fall off. Now the inside one here, I'm going to come in and take it off completely. It is growing inwards. I want to take out the buds as well. I don't want any inward growing facing. Inward growing facing. That's a not correct English again. Any inward or in growing, in facing, I'm going to remove anything growing towards the next trunk, and all growing outwards. So I'll come in, take everything out, and then because it is smaller, I want to keep it small. Nice and low down. Just like that. So you can see it's nice and small, compact. I'm just going to come out, take that little one as well. I've got plenty of buds around the bottom. Just here. So there, shoot. Give me new branches. I'm going to bring this one back as well. Let's shoot new branches, new leader. Now it gives a sense of the dominant tree, smaller one just behind it, gives that a focal point. So if I move it outwards, you can now see a sense of depth. We've got this big one that shoots up in the air and a smaller one just further back. I'm going to do that as well with the other trees, just here. These other two trees here, you can see, cut this one down to here. They are slightly taller. Now, I want to get them coming down and steadily down again. So if I spin this, you can see just from the front on here. I want to bring this one further down and then the one behind it further down still. So this is exactly what I would like to do. And I'm going to bring this one to here and take all this out. And then the one behind it. Before we even go any further, I'm going to make the big cut. I've got buds just here. I'm going to take all that off and give it a nice sense of depth. Now you can see I've got this nice strong tall tree, slightly smaller, another one further back in the distance, same way, and then if I get this one growing, if it is still alive, it'll get there. If not, we'll replace it, get another one further just here, which will be smaller, and it'll give that sense of depth. When you're looking into it, it'll look like the one further back should be smaller and it's further away. All we need to do now is go in and trim these up. So I'm going to come in and I'll take this one out of the back. We'll start there. Let's move the angle just so you can get you in and have a proper look. If you're looking through the tree, you've got some sort of sense of depth now. Got this big, strong, tall tree, slightly smaller, smaller still. It gives a sense of these ones are further in the distance. Now let's start trimming these up. Bring this one round. I'm just going to take this one out. It's growing inwards. I'm going to pull these ones back. I've got a bud here. I'm going to take that one there. Got a bud here. I'm going to come in and just clean this one up. That will fall off. That should fall off as well. That's going to fall off. Take that out completely. These are just all going to drop off, so let's just move them out of the way. So we can see what we're doing. We don't want anything in the cracks and crevices. Let's just take those out. Let's clean this up so we can see what we're doing. Right, now we can get in there. This long one here, it's got plenty of buds towards the top. Goes all the way down. If I just pop my head in, looking for buds. I'm just going to come in and trim it to there. Might not even keep that branch in the long run, but for the time being, I'm going to trim it to there. This one, coming back, got one bud here, I'm going to take that to there. This one, got a set of buds right at the base. Going to take it out, trim this one to the bud. That's everything set on my forest. Taken quite a bit off today, but we've got it set again, ready for the new growth come spring. I'm going to give you an in-depth view now, so I'm just going to change camera angles once again. Let's give you a fly-in mode. So we're walking in, coming under, you can see, if I get you down low, the trees, looks like they've just had a big chop. Just had some machinery, heavy machinery come in, cut them all down, especially that back one. But anyways, I'll just move you out a little bit. You can see the trees starting to look established. But if I just move out a little bit, And here we go. So the small one at the back, just over here, it looks like it's in the distance now. Got a sense of distance. Let's just move up a little bit. And now you can see I've got this very tall one. I probably should bring it down just that little bit more. I think I will do that. Now my idea for leaving it a bit long, just let me find my snips. You can see just what I've taken off. Nice colours. So let's see what buds we've got. You can see just the buds. There we go. So the amount of buds, I'll probably just take it to there. So you've got a nice sense of different sizes. It is pretty tall, that one, in comparison to everything else, but I want that one to get lots and lots of strength in it. I want it to thicken up more than the others, because they are pretty much all the same sort of size. There is slight variances in, but not an awful lot. You can see how fast they've started to pick up. All the bark is starting to break. Looking lovely. We're just finishing off, and you can see how much we've just taken off. We've taken off these big sections. The leaves are now continually falling. And this is ready to go back outside, ready for dormancy. Have a nice little sleep till the spring, and then this will start putting on some serious growth again. And I can't wait to see it next year, because these grow immensely fast. Nigel Saunders has just recently done a video on this, and he's just grown rapidly this year. He's went from a tiny little thing like this in a pot, and it shot up in 1 year, and mine have done so the same. And I can't wait to see the growth on these this year. Unfortunately, we've got to replace one, but that is the nature of bonsai, I'm afraid. Anyway, if you like this one, please do give me a thumbs up. Keep in touch. There's a playlist for this one. If you want to go back and watch the repot on it, we put it in this nice pot, and you can see all the roots that were there and the masses all tangled in together, coming along nicely. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.